What's up, everybody? It's Wednesday night, which means gear and beer time. Sammy is away today, so we've got Scott Craker joining us.
Hello, everybody.
Everybody say hi to Scott. Let's see. Hey, Clayton, cheers, man. It's gear and beer. I'm kind of wussing out a little bit tonight, and I am drinking this awesome Waterloo Grapefruit Radler. Because, dude, I love summer beers. And, like, yeah, I'm you know.
I got
I'm
the
a
Farmery.
child.
I got the Farmery Premium Lager. Good old farmer common sense.
Yeah, man, that's good stuff too. What's everybody else drinking? What's up, Adam? So we thought we'd do something a little bit different today, and we're gonna start introducing you guys to more of our team here at Rev. So Scott is one of our longest standing employees here, and you know, you started with us
3.5 years ago.
yeah, with the G3.
Yep.
I started building the original, like the first G3s.
The very first one, which took a lot of work to build, but was a lot of fun to do.
Yeah. And prior to that, like, you bought a 740 from us, what, almost 5 years ago then? 4 years ago?
It was about maybe a year prior to that, because I'd come here with some payments and we'd hang out and shoot the shit, and that was back in the day when you actually had time.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, and just got to know each other really good. And when I saw the opportunity to get my foot in the door with some soldering work, I took the chance.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's been great having you since. And so you started out as like mainly G3 builder because that's what we were mainly building, and then slowly you got into to building like Mark IIs with Dan. And and everybody, do us a favor and caress or smash that like button for us. Yeah. I always feel super lame asking you guys to do that, but if you can, it'd be great. And maybe the algorithm
and share
won't
this
hate
on
us.
your feed so other people can join in and check us out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I never thought about asking anybody to do that.
Well, there you go.
What's up, Tanner? How are things, dude? How's things down in Minneapolis? You need a Rev shirt in your life. Yeah, you do. We have lots of them on the online store, and sometimes we give them away. Maybe we should give one away tonight. Yeah, I'll think about what we can do to give away some merch. Anthony, what is going on?
Yo, Anthony.
Mr. Anthony Best from California, or maybe Mexico. I don't know if he's still in Mexico or not, but normally from the Bay Area. Yeah. So we figured tonight would be pretty like, non-traditional, that we would just kind of hang out and, see what you guys are all up to tonight. Scotty's gonna show me how I never want to try to play the guitar ever again. Yeah, and kind of drink some beers and have
And maybe we'll talk about what's good on pizza and what's not good on pizza.
Sure, man. Just because you don't like pineapple doesn't mean I don't hate you.
No, but we never see apples on pizza.
No.
Or grapes or plum.
But you do see tomato.
True. That is classified as a fruit.
That's right.
Yeah.
I have won the argument. Right there. Yeah.
Okay.
You guys want to see Scott shred? Sure. Scott,
Oh,
show us
lovely.
what you can do. I can do that. Whoa, Scott. Pizza Hut had apple cinnamon pizza?
What?
What? Oh, is that the dessert pizza? Because, like, the dessert pizza doesn't count.
Yeah, if it's a dessert, it doesn't count. It's got to include meat and cheese and sauce.
I can do sweeps, too.
Yeah? Oh, the classic.
You heard it here first,
Yeah.
folks.
The classic.
Yeah.
The trick is to. I'm not doing it pretty smoothly, but want to reach for the whammy bar.
Yeah, well, I know how to do like. So there. Yeah. Sorry, I can go to the neck pickup too.
Oh, yeah?
No. No, Scott. One box.
Well, I can do
Just-
that.
No, I can't do that.
Yeah.
I never learned to sweep, and I never will. Like,
It's one of those things. Either you like it or you don't, right?
I love it. I just can't do it, and I do not have the time to ever practice.
I don't recommend the crazy amount of hours it took me. Like, I literally for years would just slowly, like
Yeah.
hours and days and weeks, and then it was a relentless. It's like,
There's that meme floating around. I don't know if you saw it, where I don't know if it's specific to guitar right now, but it's like, man, you just must have so much natural ability with the instrument. They're like, no, I practiced forever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
nonstop. And they're like, yeah, but it's just must be great to be born with that talent. They're like, I just practiced.
yeah.
And they're like, I wish I had that.
Well,
talent.
there's-
You're like, just practice.
There's a famous quote: 10,000 hours.
Yeah.
You know, like how you want to get good on anything, you got to put 10,000 hours into it. Unless you have a ridiculous natural gift, which some people have, and they can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's very true about. I think anybody technical wise, if you put in the time and you learn proper technique, you can get fast. You can do almost anything. It takes a lot to be a songwriter, and I think
Oh, yeah.
that's the difference between. I've met lots of guitar players that are just smoking fast players, but they can't really write melody, or they just can't creatively write much of anything. So, they can play anything under the sun, but when
At the end of the day, you got to have a melody or a hook that sucks you in. And I like to shred. I like to play a lot of fast stuff. But I think one of the proudest things the things I'm proudest of is when I can write a simple melody that just it's so simple, but yet it hooks you in.
yeah.
These freaking flies are annoying.
Yeah, I know. It's like a horrible season here right now where it's like all of the crickets are trying to get inside. There's literally, I'm not lying when I say there's 1,000 crickets in the shop right now.
That would be a conservative estimate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now there's like, oh, look, there's like 20 flies in this small space just to piss us off during the middle of this. It's so great.
It's
What's
wild.
up, John? Mr. Vote?
Yo.
If you can't sing the melody of a solo, it sucks. Ooh, that's an interesting and loaded comment.
Tell that to Ingwie Malmsteen.
Yeah, well, I can't stand anything English plays, so sorry. I'm one of the few. Well, I shouldn't say few people. I'm one of the people that just I can't get into.
His stuff.
No, it's just not-
He was a big influence of mine at one point, obviously, but I've outgrown it because, you hear one album, ultimately you've heard every album he's made.
Yeah, I liked speed when, okay, the type of player that I was growing up when I actually practiced and tried to get better at guitar. I was always a way bigger Satriani fan than I was Steve Vai, because I felt like Satriani has better melody and better
Yes.
songwriting than Vai does, even though Vai maybe be technically a better. I don't know.
Yeah, I
if
think
it's technically a better.
I think his technical skill is probably better than Satch.
Yeah.
Just because of his crazy
long fingers.
skills and long fingers that he can do all kinds of wild stuff with. But melody-wise, catchy hooks-wise, definitely Satriani has a bigger draw to me, even though I wouldn't even consider him an influence. Like,
Yeah.
I don't even own one of his albums.
I mean, I was way more influenced by Van Halen than, like, as far as speed goes. Like, that's what I was after was,
Yeah.
I tried to learn all the two-hand tapping stuff, and I did for a while, and now I forget all of it because, now I play at church where I play nice, pretty things like. like those types of sounds, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Not a huge Yingwei fan, but classical metal mixes like chocolate and peanut butter. I'm not gonna lie, I don't listen to classical music and I listen to very little metal. Although I did hear, you guys gonna say this isn't metal, but I did hear the new Asking Alexandria tune today. And man, that was good stuff. Good stuff.
I'm very different. I don't even listen to a lot of music. I'm so like preoccupied with my own music and my own work that very little time is actually spent just listening to other people's music.
I normally listen to stuff when people send it to me.
Yeah.
Right? Like Rex Briones sent me a tune that I listened to
Yeah.
this weekend that was great. But like other than that, it's only when people send me stuff that I'm like, all right. Or if somebody tells me, hey, this, like Hoogie sent me a message and was like, hey man, check out this new tune by Asking Alexandria. And I'm like, yeah, that's great.
Awesome. Yeah.
And then otherwise, I mean, I'm driving a lot more than you are for work, right? So I'll have Spotify on and just, to be honest, a lot of what I've been listening to lately is just old Canadian music, like
Awesome.
Glass Tiger and all sorts of, Northern Pikes and 5440 and bands like that.
5440. That's a funny story. So many moons ago, a friend of mine's band was playing at, I think it was the last Sunfest.
Oh yeah.
And it was Headstones I believe it was Headstones.
Sweeter and the Monkey Man?
Yeah. And 5440 played. So their band played at the show Saturday afternoon. They all come back to Steinbach. The bassist, my friend, he's like, well, I want to go back because they got these all access passes because they were a band. So we took a couple of the other band members' passes, and the three of us went back to the gig and got in.
Nice.
And yeah, so we had backstage passes. We're hanging out backstage. So these dudes come up to us, and we're chatting with them, and they're like, "Hey guys, how's it going?" Blah blah blah. And I'm like, "You guys in a band?" And like, we had a demo tape. Like this is way back. So we're giving the tape. They were all interested. Cool. And then the guy walks away, and I go over to my buddy, like, "Yeah, who the hell was that?" He goes, "Well, that was 5440."
That's
I'm like,
awesome.
I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." Just like regular dudes, just hanging out.
Andy, you know what? The Gear and Beer shirt. So the reason this one isn't on the website is, so if you look on the back of it, it says Nashville because we do sometimes do like in-person events. And that's where Gear and Beer started, was from doing those events in Nashville. I promise you at some point we will do like Gear and Beer shirts that you guys can pick up off of the web store. Yeah. Ocean Pearl, yeah. I don't remember any more of it than that.
You know more of it than I do?
Yeah, I'm the king of like, I can learn the first like 20 seconds of something and then be like, yeah, no, that's not.
Well, that's all you actually need to know in order to impress people.
Yeah, I learned that when I was young.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Learn all of the intros to every top 40 song,
Yep.
and you'll be popular in high school.
Absolutely.
I mean, now I don't know if you could do that because like not very many guitar songs are top 40.
Yeah, I guess it's a
Yeah.
lot different dynamic now.
Yeah. I just lost my ears, Alex. Not sure what happened. Yeah. Sorry guys, I can't hear it. Rings of Saturn and Taylor Swift kind of guy. What is Rings of Saturn? Is that like a big metal band that I don't know about?
That's an interesting one. I'm not super familiar, but it's like I think there's a Lucas Mann, I think, is one of the members of the band.
What is up, Rex? Rex, I dig the tune you sent me, dude. It's good stuff. Oh, okay. We're not talking about the pickups we did last week because unfortunately, Sammy wants to be here for that, and unfortunately, Sammy had a family emergency that's why he can't be here tonight. So, yeah, we're gonna save that for a day that Sammy can be here. So, oh, sweet. Now I can hear you guys again.
Yeah.
So I hope you guys are cool with that. And you know what? We might even see about just having the dude from Peg City Pickups come out for that. Would you guys be interested in that if we tell? I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. Sam's been the one dealing with him. Yeah. So Sam's fine. Yeah. Yeah. I'll do that, and then Sammy will fine or charge me more for every time he does any sort of video work. He'll be like, "That's not really my job." And I'll be like, "Yeah, shoot." I saw Anthony talking about like being like into he's been on like a hollow body kick. Yeah, dude, the Collings I-35. If you've got the cash for it, that hollow body is unreal. I have a Lucille here, and I have 2 Gretches here. They're kind of put away right now, so I can pull them out later if you want to hear something. But yeah, dude, if you want to get something killer, like Sean's I-35, I've played it, and Joey Landreth has one of those as well. Dude, best hollow bodies like that I've ever played. Yeah. So you guys want to hear Scott shred some more while I try to figure out what's wrong with my...
Fuck, that's hard. But yeah, I haven't done my warm-up routine, eh? Like just...
That's your warm-up routine?
I go all the way up just to warm up the fingers and get the kind of the synchronization going, because once I'm warmed up, I can actually play properly.
Dude, I hate technology. I just got the one pack on and the other pack fell off. I absolutely hate this crap. And by hate it, I mean I love it more than anything, because it sucks when you don't have stuff that works. Can we get some Loverboy? Travis, if I knew any Loverboy, I would play for you in a second. I love that band. How's it going, Travis? Travis is out in BC and has been playing Rev stuff for almost as long as you have.
Nice.
Yeah, he's got a Seafoam Green 120, I believe.
Perfect.
See? I know what to do. Yeah. So I guess we could tell you guys, are you guys interested in hearing about how Scotty and I met? Because it's kind of a funny story.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool story.
Yeah. Because we actually met like 25 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
But didn't realize it until after Scott worked here.
I'm not sure if I was working here yet.
Oh yeah, maybe when you were while we were building your amp.
Yeah, we got talking one day about Mesa Boogie.
Yeah.
Got into a big conversation about Mesa Boogie.
Yeah, because you used to be a big boogie guy.
Yeah.
Right? So was I. And so I was living in a small town. I was born in a small town. So yeah, I was living in a small town, and I was teaching guitar lessons, and actually Stobes, who's running audio and video stuff for us today, at the time it was, well, now it's his brother-in-law, was looking for a guitar and was one of my students, and we found this ad on, probably in the paper actually.
Yeah, it would have been in the Carillon probably.
Yeah, we found an ad in the paper for this guy selling a Jackson Dinky, and I was like, man, that'd be a good guitar for you. So we drove like an hour and a half from where we lived to Steinbach. We get to this dude's house, and we like go into his basement to go check it out. He's like, oh yeah, here, come downstairs and check out the guitar. And I walk into his basement, and this guy has this massive rig where he's got like 2 Mesa 4x12s. He's got a tri-axis and like
290 power amp.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he plays it for us, and I was just like, this rig sounds so awesome. And like I was a big I think I don't know if I had my dual rectifier yet then, or sorry, my triple rectifier yet then.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I think I bought it like later that year, the next year. But I remember being like, oh, that tri-axis sounds so good. But the rig, like your rig back then, that would have been like late 90s.
Yeah, that would have been late 90s. I had probably just bought it. I think I'd spent something ridiculous on it. Like, I put $2,000 just for the 4x12 back then. Like, they were $1,000 back then. But I spent like ridiculous amount of money on that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it sounded insane.
Yeah, so I remember that stuck with me, and like from then on I was like, man, if I ever want to get into rack stuff, like I'm 100% buying the tri-axis. From like the probably 20 minutes that later on when Scott's here I find out that was Scott, because I mentioned, like, you know, when you were talking about being a Mesa guy, I'm like, yeah, dude, I went to this guy's house in Steinbach that had a tri-axis, and you were like, that's me.
No, I'm like, you were talking about buying the guitar, and you're going about this big rig, and I'm going, was the guitar green?
Yeah. Yeah.
And you go, yep. I'm like, that was me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I still, like, I've been watching this whole, like, last year for a used tri-axis preamp to pick up, and they're so hard to find. I saw one before the pandemic when I was in Germany that was $400, and I was like, I should have bought it and flown home with it.
No kidding.
But yeah.
Yeah, I kind of regret selling that rig. But,
yeah.
you know, you move on, right?
Yeah. I almost regret selling everything I've ever sold. And I slowly am accumulating it back. Like, we were talking about the fact that Stobes' other brother has one of my, like, guitars that I had when I was, like, 15, which is, like, a Strat. It's a single hum JB player, which is, like, not really great guitars, like, kind of pieces of shit.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, does your brother want to sell that? Like, I still want it back if he ever wants to get rid of it.
I still got my first guitar sitting right over here.
I have mine here. Mine is that white one that's over there.
Awesome.
Yep. A Kramer XL3. You got a Vantage.
I got a Vantage.
Yeah, so that's how Scotty and I originally met, and then you got hip to us through a mutual friend named Paul.
Yeah, I sold him a guitar, actually.
So everything with your involvement around Rev revolves around you selling guitars, eh?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
What do you think about it?
That's how it all works.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I sold him a guitar, and then we became contacts on Facebook.
Yeah.
And we just started talking about gear. I was actually just getting back into electric guitar at this time.
Yep.
And
because you were playing mostly acoustic and like 7-string acoustic, right?
yeah, I 3 years nonstop. I played nothing but my 7-string acoustic, and 2 years prior to that, I played nothing but a 7-string nylon acoustic. So it was about 5 years I never even really touched an electric guitar. Sold that one to Paul, and then started jamming with some friends. I'm like, okay, I need an amp. Because I still had a 4x12, but no amp for it.
Right.
And yeah, long story short, Paul and I started talking about gear, and he's like, I was looking at a Mesa Boogie 535, I think, or 35.5, or whatever they call it.
Oh yeah, the Mark 535.
Yeah,
that's a good amp.
I was really interested in that, and that or the KSR. They had a 50-watt.
The Orthos.
Something like that. I can't.
Or the Gemini or something.
Yeah, something. I think it was a Gemini at the time.
Killer amps too.
Yeah,
like,
so that's what I kind of narrowed down my idea that I was looking at getting, and then Paul's like, well, have you heard of Rev? And I'm like, no, I haven't. And so I think he called you or something, or arranged that I could come down here and actually physically try one out.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's it, I gotta have one.
And you've got a 740.
I got a 740.
And now you've got a Mark III 120.
Yep.
And a 4x12 and...
Got a 2x12 vertical incoming.
Okay.
And I eventually do want to get a G20 as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then I'm covered.
Sure.
Yeah, I think I got all
Till
my
the
bases.
next one.
Yeah.
till whatever monster Dan designs next, and you're like, yeah, you're way down there.
This is my drop C. I'm just going to showcase the guitar a little bit.
Sure. Yeah.
It's kind of a. This is what Sam's dad worked on. This one.
I saw Daniel said their moral of the story: never sell anything. Yeah, it is kind of the moral of the story, but also, that's also how connections are made, man. Like I've bought lots of stuff from people and I've sold some things to people that later on I end up, things come kind of full circle. So
Yeah, that's the cool thing about buying and selling gears. You actually get to meet some pretty cool people. Yeah, you get the idiot every now and then that tries to screw you over, but I think all my gear purchases and sales locally have been good, and yeah.
I've gotten some like hella good deals locally from people that are just like, I had one kid that sold me like a pedal train with like 6 or 7 pedals for like $300 because he was like selling all his stuff to chase a girl out to BC. I was like, dude,
Nice.
I will take all your stuff while you make this horrible decision in life. Like,
As you make a great decision.
I was gonna say that should be the moral of the story: is don't sell all your gear to chase a girl. It's probably not gonna go very well, because if you have to chase her, it's probably not going very well.
Yeah.
That sounds substantially better than my first guitar. Although this doesn't sound horrible.
No, that sounds good.
Do you like that I just have flathead screws for my
That's awesome.
strap button on one side and no other button? I do remember when I put this nick in it and that dent in it. Yeah, it was a great guitar.
Yeah, Sam's dad, Bruce, there you had on the show there a couple weeks ago. He replaced the first 3 frets. Because whoever owned this guitar before me played heavy-duty chords. And had the chord grooves in the frets. So instead of shaving down all the frets to match how much he'd have to shave those 3, I just said, go ahead and replace the first 3. And he redid the whole neck, hand-carved a new nut.
Yep.
I put new hip shot bridge on it, some locking tuners. And I did a complete rewiring, but I kept the original pickups.
Nice.
Because I really think they sound killer.
Yeah, it sounds great, dude.
And it's probably why I like the mid-range sound, and probably why I really like the. Sounds mean and nasty.
It sounds substantially meaner than this guitar.
But it helps I'm doing drop C tuning.
Yeah, but there's just something about the characteristic of your bridge pickup that sounds significantly better than this does.
Yeah, I looked it up. There was like a Matsukumo, or I think was the factory that came out in Japan.
Okay.
I couldn't find anything about Samick though.
Yeah, actually, you guys could help us with that. Like back in the day, I thought that Vantage was also like either same brand or made in the same factory as Samick. Like I know like JB Player is Hondo, and there's a couple brands that are like that. So if anybody else, or maybe you guys can, work your magic on the old Juggle machine there and figure out for us what's right and wrong.
Wicked.
So, yeah. I'm not gonna be able to play with you because you're drops. I can grab a different guitar.
I just wanted to show the case the
mean,
nasty tones that this thing can get.
It's always fun being able to like still be able to use like the stuff you started with and kind of see where you came from and where you end up in your gear journey. And I mean, like, some of us have Kramer XLs, and then Anthony has PRS private stock for his first guitars.
Yeah.
So I liked his comment there where he's like, find a woman that'll buy your gear, or find girls that'll buy your gear for you.
That's how you do it.
Yes, that is a special trick if you figured that out, Anthony. Although I have a feeling that Anthony buys all his own gear. Reminds me of One More Astronaut a little bit like that. You know what I mean? sorry, no, that's Used to Be Alright. By or is it Not Quite Sonic? Maybe Not Quite Sonic? Good old I Mother Earth.
Oh yeah, I haven't listened
Not
to that.
Quite Sonic. Yeah.
I
Mitch
got
is
one.
right. Like, that's somewhere in there.
Yeah, I got to listen. I got that disc at home. I got to listen to it. It's probably been 15 years since I've listened to that.
I need to get a better wah pedal on here. This thing drives me nuts every time I step on it.
I have a Morley wah.
Yeah, me
it
too.
Yeah.
I have the Tremonti one. It's killer, but it's too big.
Yeah,
my
they're
pedal
huge.
board's already way too big. Too much crap on it.
I like it because it's got you can just push it down and you're on.
Yeah, it's optical.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yeah.
Like,
Nothing worse when you think you're turning it off.
yeah, and you're like,
And you, yeah.
oh shit,
Yeah.
come on. So, throw
Yeah.
the wah in the trash. Period. Slash would kill you, Anthony. What are you talking about? It's horrible. Wahs are awesome. If for no other reason that I can't like go like, I can't do that without moving my mouth. I don't like this wah very much though. I probably just am not used to it.
Which wah is that?
It's the Friedman wah. Like
Okay.
Sean made it sound amazing,
Yeah.
and then Sean was selling it, so I bought it. And for some reason I don't sound like Sean. I was
I don't
like,
think
hey,
anybody does.
I was gonna say, hey, if I just buy a bunch of your pedals, I'll sound like you, right?
Isn't that how it works?
I do like that pedal.
That
For nothing
that's-
more than just doing that stupid shit.
That is one of those I want to add to my collection at one point.
Yeah, the Digitech drop pedal.
Yeah.
Oh, you buy it, yeah. Were you ever into Rage?
Never got big into that band.
Love that band so much. I have tickets to their show, which I've already talked about on a different live stream.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
No, I mean, I would definitely
Such-
love to check them out. I mean, they're amazing. I just never was a big Rage fan. But I don't like. It's not that I don't like them. It's
believe
like
it.
I said earlier. I don't listen to a lot of music.
Yeah.
I'm pretty strange in that way. So
Has anybody ever modified a wah pedal? That's a great question. I don't know the answer to it. I would assume yes. There's got to be some stuff you can do to it. My guess is I'm probably an idiot, and this Friedman probably has like a trim pot or something like that. Jacob, you can leave the live stream right now for saying you like Audio Slave more. I'm just kidding, dude. But I'm not. Now, dude, I love Soundgarden and I love Rage Against the Machine, and I don't know why, but
Soundgarden's awesome.
I
love
never
Soundgarden.
really got into Audio Slave. I don't know
I like
why.
a couple of the tunes.
Yeah.
Like "I Am the Highway," I think is one of their songs. That's a really cool tune. But yeah, for overall, there's just a couple songs that I'm really into. But Soundgarden, yeah, Jesus Christ Pose. That's such a powerful song.
I mean, I'm like everybody else that, you know, I was a big fan of Soundgarden when Super Unknown came out, and my favorite is probably, shoot, what's the song off and Down on the Upside? I'm not going to remember the name of it now. Yeah.
This just brings me back to like when I was younger, still living at my parents' place, but my aunt and uncle had a massive in-ground swimming pool.
Oh, yeah?
So my cousins and like all summer we hang out there and swim and like that.
That's the soundtrack of your summer?
Yeah, Soundgarden was played heavily on the stereo side at the pool, probably on repeat for the most of the time.
I always liked My Wave was like my favorite song, I think, off of Super Unknown. And Fell on Black Days were like kind of
Yeah, that's a great album. I think the one before that, it's Bad Motor Finger. Is that the one?
Yeah,
The Triangle.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that's one of my favorites. There's a song in there called "A Room 1,000 Years Wide," and to me, I just found the lyrics to be so trippy at the time because no
Yeah.
matter what speed you're moving, that room's 1,000 years wide.
Right.
So it's kind of makes you think kind of stuff. I like that kind of stuff.
Joseph Switchfoot pretty much put out pretty much nothing but gems. Yeah, dude, Switchfoot is a great band. Like, oh man, I can't remember how to play it. Where is it? Where is it, Alex? What? I don't remember where it is. Do you remember it? It's like... Yeah, I don't remember. I used to cover that song in a band I was playing in, and I wish I had any idea how to play it anymore. Yeah, Legend of Chin was a great record. What's up, Will? Will's our in-house like engineer and repair dude. Everybody say hi to Will.
Hey, Will.
Brian, drop tune. What do you want us? What do you want us to drop to? Oh, is that song dropped? Is that? I don't know. I'm gonna ruin it all. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty much my days of knowing cover tunes are long gone.
I wish I could. Man, Sammy plays with the Big City All-Star Band and pulls out like he can do 200 covers, and the kid is just a mutant that like he can hear the song in his head and just start playing it.
Yeah, like he's how many times has he like talked about a gig he has that night or that weekend, and he'll be at work listening to the songs he has to play.
Yeah,
because he doesn't have time to learn them, so he just listens to them and learns them while he's listening to them.
Well, did I ever tell you about, because he's got perfect pitch and perfect time, right?
Yeah.
So, did I ever tell you about, like, driving to NAMM with him and Donovan?
I may have heard part of the story.
So, him and Donovan, they were both in the Afterimage for a little while.
Yep.
Donovan had been playing for, like, 3 years and could do sweeps like you can. It was just, like, makes you want to throw up. Anyway... So I'm driving, Sam's in the passenger seat, Donovan's in the back seat. Both of these guys have their laptops out with MIDI programs open with cans on. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, writing our new record, like the new, I can't remember if it was new Afterimage or, yeah, it was new Afterimage stuff. It's like, I'm writing the new Afterimage stuff. And I was like, oh, you mean like you're transcribing it? And
yeah.
He's like, no, I'm writing it. I'm like, but you don't have a guitar. And he's like, no, I don't need it, like, because I can hear the melody in my head. And then I just transcribe it, and then I'll track it when we get to LA. He's like, I was going to try tracking it in the truck, but there's too many bumps. And I was like, what? And I'm like, you mean when you hear a note in your head, like you instantly know what note it is, and you can like either A, play it or transcribe it? He's like, yeah, pretty much. He's like, you can? I'm like, screw you, man. like no, I'm going to hunt and peck for like a month to figure out like what I hear in my head and be like, that's not it at all. And by the time normally, by the time I get close to whatever it is, I've forgotten what the original idea was so badly that I'm like,
I'm very much the same way. Like when I get jealous of guys like that, hear something in their head and they can figure it out, or and just like all in their head. I'm like, no, I got an excruciating hours of cursing and trying this and trying that. Like some of the songs I'm working on my new album, the leads and melodies is the last thing that I often come up with. Yep. And I'll like this melody, and I'll just like for 3 hours just hit play, hit record, try something, nope. Hit play, hit record, try something, nope. And it's like that for like 3 hours, and then all of a sudden I fluke onto something that sparks an idea or something.
So I said to Sammy, I'm like, he's like, what, you can't do that? I'm like, screw you, man. I'm like, no. I'm like, dude, the vast majority of people in the world can't do that. And then Donovan leans forward, he's like, I can do it. And I'm like, both of you can piss right off. Like, yeah.
Yeah, two freaks in the back seat.
And just you ask them to play anything, and it's, Yeah,
Sam's an amazing.
Worst case scenario, Sammy will be like, okay, I need to sit down for an hour and figure it out because he doesn't want to play it sloppily. Yeah. I remember when we were doing, here's our plug for the WTF contest, guys. Submit your videos of playing Canadian covers and win your choice of a Mark III before winter.
Nice.
Yeah. Told Sammy, I'm like, somebody's got to cover Go for Soda. And he's like, I'll do it. And I left the office because Sammy's desk is close to mine in the office. And I left the office and I came back like an hour later. He's like, check this out. He has it. All the drums are programmed. He's already got MIDI bass done, and he's got half the guitars done. He's like, I'll clean it up later, but this is it. It's awesome. And like the next day, the song was done, and I'm like, I'd be like probably 3 weeks to do that, and it would just be, you know, it would be as close to the original as I could get it. Like,
Yeah.
Well,
he interpreted it and put his own little spin
yeah,
on it.
exactly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like, he does this ridiculous little riff in the solo.
No, he did an incredible job of that cover. Yeah.
But-
That would be the cover that I'd go for. Like, not that cover, but that idea, like, make it my own kind of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear a band cover another band and try to sound like the other band.
I do.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, dude. Well, it depends what it is. Like Stobes and I used to love, like, we'd be rigging shows where there's a bunch of original bands, but then the B stage at night is guaranteed to have, like, a Zeppelin cover band, AC/DC cover band, GNR, or Metallica.
That
And,
scenario,
like,
that's a different scenario than what I think what I'm
Dude.
referring to, but yeah.
I can't remember the name of the band, if it was as lame as, like, Stairway to Heaven, but do you remember that Zeppelin cover band in Minnedosa? They're just unreal good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it
Yeah.
reminds me of a show, my old band, the name was Sound Rage.
Nice.
Yeah, we played a festival down in the States called Party in the Pasture. It's no longer happening. The owners, I think, passed away, but our bass player was the gift of the gab, kind of, and he could talk us into any kind of gig.
Nice.
So he built us up larger than life, and we had to drive down to this. It was in South Dakota.
Okay. That's a bit of a drive.
Beulah, South Dakota. It was a 10-hour drive.
Wow.
Yeah, and I mean, you can't bring your amps and guitars and everything all over the border.
Well, back then, not easily. Now, maybe it's a little different now, but yeah,
Yeah.
90s, no.
We literally just brought our guitars. The drummer brought his drums, and that's the guy I traveled with. So we get to this one border crossing, it's closed. We have to backtrack an hour to one that's open. We get there, of course, they ask us a million questions.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. Of course, we're not going to tell them that we're playing in the band, because then they're like, oh, are you getting paid? And it's like, all this crap comes up. Like, what do you have these guitars, and why do you have this drum? So he's like, well, after the show, everybody gets together and has a big band practice in the campgrounds, and they bought it. So we went. But yeah, that was a fun gig. The one show we played, or the one event we played, Judas Priest was the headliner.
Oh, that's awesome.
Got to hang out with. Well, we didn't get to hang out with the old guys. They were from the bus to the stage, from the stage to the bus. But
That's almost all huge bands.
But Ripper Owens was singing at the time. And yeah, so we hung out with Ripper Owens for a bit. Totally cool, down to earth dude. Yeah, it was pretty cool stuff.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Will, no, and you've just disqualified yourself from being able to go to NAMM. For that comment. I like that you're now like a Strat fanatic as well. Like after years of like, I only play 7 strings.
1997, I ordered my first 7-string. It was the UV 777.
Yep. I remember it. Was it black with a silver pickguard?
Black with a mirror pickguard.
Mirror pickguard,
and it had the triangle emblem there. It took 7 months to arrive. And that was probably the last time I played a 6-string for 23 years straight. And it wasn't until I traded a 7-string for that SSS Strat that I got a couple of years ago. And I was like, holy shit, I actually love how this thing plays.
After I bugged you nonstop that Strats are awesome, like since you started working here, I was like...
Strats were never on my radar because they didn't make a 7-string.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
And so I'd never even considered, it wasn't even, don't even want to, I never even played one.
That's how I feel about 7 strings.
Yeah.
Is I never want to consider them.
But my first 7-string, as soon as I got it, I was like, this just feels right. Like, it just, to me, it just felt right. I love the lower, the tone range. And
I like how it sounds. I hate how it feels. My hands aren't big enough. And
It
it just
is-
feels way too awkward. I'm way too improper of a player. Like my thumb is always up over the...
it is when I play the 7-string too. But I have the 26.5-inch scale PRS.
Yeah.
And that's just a bit, like when you're chugging down on the low, that's just like, it feels like too much of a, the wrist is doing too much of this. So 8-string I can't play. I tried. That's just too much.
No, 7 is too much too.
I hardly play it anymore, but I'm never getting rid of it. There's still a 7-string I want to buy, and that'll probably be the last one.
I have two. I have a Fernandez, which is the first 7-string I ever bought, and I played it for like 3 days after I bought it. Like, and this was back in the like 90s, and I was like,
Wasn't your thing.
no, I just
I was big into
Corn?
Dream Theater at that time.
Oh.
No, Korn is never an influence or a reason for getting a 7-string for me. Actually, a guy by the name of Rob Johnson, a shredder guitar player that had a couple solo albums out in the day, he was probably one of the first guys that put out an instrumental 7-string album. I would say he's a big influence of mine. And so that and the Dream Theater, I think it was the Awake album.
Okay.
He played 7-string on there, and I think that's really what, because I love that tone, that chug and low rumble is like, gotta have that.
I mean, I pretty much went straight into like a massive Van Halen phase at like 17, so probably around the same time that you started listening to Dream Theater. I was like, and I went and bought a Wolfgang, and
I'm so different I'm so different of a guitar player than like so many guitar players I know, like you and a lot of other guys. They're all influenced by the greats, you know, like Van Halen and Satriani and a whole bunch of other guys. They'll ramble off a bunch of these names, Eric Johnson and all these things. Like, these all guys I know of, never own their music, and I never tried to play any of their stuff.
Right.
I'm different that way. I got big into like the Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, you know, way back in the day. That's probably how I learned my chops on the guitar.
Everybody's about to make fun of me when I say the heaviest of metal music that I listened to, really back in the day, was either Metallica or Megadeth. And Megadeth, let's be fair, I only listen to Countdown to Extinction because I only like Symphony of Destruction, and like some stuff maybe off of Rust in Peace, but otherwise.
Rust in Peace is probably my favorite. I saw that concert live at the which arena was it? Not the convention center. That's where it was.
Everything that Joseph just listed, I don't know. So, yeah. Anthony, Deftones is why you got into guitar. That's cool. I listened to Deftones like back with White Pony. That's pretty much all of the Deftones I listened to, though. But I was definitely into a lot of bands that were influenced by Deftones. Especially back, I used to play in like, a lot of our guys are going to make fun of me about this too, but like I used to play in a Christian hard rock band. And we, like, bands like Project 86 and POD and that were huge at the time.
Yeah.
So that was way more of an influence, like that type of stuff on me. And like, Joseph messaged mentioned Switchfoot. Yeah, bands like that were huge influences on me.
Yeah, I was even influenced by what's that punk band there? Oh, I can't even think of the name now. Yeah, it's drawing a blank. It'll come back to me some other time. Kind of punk rock popular band back in the 90s.
Green Day?
Nope.
Pop punk?
No, not pop punk. Get a Job. I think they did a cover of Get a Job or something like that.
The Offspring? Oh, yeah.
I was big into the Offspring at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, when Smash came out, I don't know very many people that weren't.
Yeah.
Like our age weren't into the Offspring.
No, it was just good stuff.
Dude, old school Figure 11. Mitch, do you, were you into Rainbow Butt Monkeys? I wish I knew how to play circles. Did you ever hear Rainbow Butt Monkeys?
Nope.
So that's what Finger 11 was called before they changed their name to Finger 11.
Well, and, that's probably a good decision to make that name change.
Yeah, I mean, except Finger 11's a dick. So, like, I mean, it's better than Rainbow Butt Monkeys, but yeah. So, but dude, that song Circles from Rainbow Butt Monkeys used to be on Much Music, like early on in the day.
I probably have heard it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember seeing Finger 11 back at, like, what did we say that it was called? Was it called Edgefest? Yeah, it was called Somersault the year that I saw them. Would have been like 99. Yeah. And yeah, best band of the day, I think, on that show, which had like OLP and yeah.
I remember watching.
Stobes learned about Rainbow Butt Monkeys from Beavis and Butthead.
Default. Remember that band?
Yeah. Well, that's who Sammy works for.
That's I remember watching them on Much Music when they were nobodies. They were like a guest, up and coming,
Yeah.
and enough to make it up on to do a live performance on Much Music. And then there was a thing called Shaking the Lake.
Yeah. I remember that.
My buddy and I did security. We worked security at that event, and so we were the B stage security, which was like you didn't have to do anything. You just literally stood there.
Yeah.
Because there was no action.
Did we work at Shaking the Lake?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I remember that. Was it in Mendoza?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
Default got called in at last minute because of another band cancellation.
Okay.
I think they got paid $1,500, something like that.
Is that good money to you for a band, or
Well-
for them, or is that?
I don't know, but for me at that time it would have been big money. But
Oh, yeah.
for them, I'm not sure.
Oh, I would have taken it in my band
Yeah.
in the '90s. $1,500 to play a gig would have been.
But yeah, we're sitting there. We're literally, my friend and I are the only two security guards standing in front of the stage while Default's standing right behind us doing their show.
Oh, dude, Andy just saw Green Day, Weezer, and Fall Out Boy. What a great show that would be. I'm not a huge Weezer fan. Yeah. Stobes, are you the one that's a big Pinkerton fan? Yeah. I like the Blue Album, like every other noob. But Green Day is one of the best, or like, I shouldn't say one of the best shows I've seen live, but is a phenomenal show live. And I love Fall Out Boy. Like, Kyle and I are on the same page with Fall Out Boy.
Never
I
got
love
into
it.
that genre. That was
No?
never my, like, the whole pop. I think Offspring was like the most punkish, probably. I listened to a bit of Green Day back in the day, but I never owned one of their albums.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought everybody owned Dookie. Like, literally there's no way you could be close to our age and not own it. Yeah. What's that? Weezerton? Wow. Anthony, have you always been in the Bay Area? You're still trying to figure out the delay pedal
Yeah.
left you?
It's so different having the delay pedal in front of the amp versus in the loop.
Yes.
I find that the mix is like, it's either nothing or everything. There's
Wichita, Kansas for Anthony. I didn't know that. And you saw Weezer there. That's awesome. I mean, we live in the middle of nowhere, so like, has Weezer been to Winnipeg? Probably at some point, but like, I've definitely never seen them.
No, that would be a fun band to actually see.
Weezer?
Yeah, I think it would
Yeah.
be fun. Yes, I'm not sure if they did. Did they ever play like Country Fest? Would they-
Weezer?
Yeah.
No.
They would never be a.
No, even the B stage bands like that are rock and roll bands, they're all going to be like older Canadian
Yeah.
bands like Loverboy, and I saw the Tea Party there a few years ago.
I was there for the Tea Party.
At
Was that
Country Fest?
the reunion show?
No, at Country Fest.
Yeah. That was when that was their first show back together.
Like a few years ago, like 4 years ago.
No, this was in. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I was front stage right in the middle of that. Like I waited, like while everybody was still out there. Like, I'm standing waiting for these guys to come and do their show. Same with Econoline Crush played one year.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's where I met, Hoogie? You must have met Hoogie at NAMM with us.
Oh, I may have.
Yeah. That's where I met Hoogie. He was teching for Jeff Martin
Nice.
in the Tea Party.
Yeah, that was an incredible show. The first show that they did in like what? How many years?
Oh, Stobes, you went and saw Weezer and Minnie? Nice. Yeah, that's pretty much where, like, for the longest time, that's where we had to go to see any decent shows. Like, go from Winnipeg down to Minneapolis if you want to see.
I never did that.
No?
No.
I've seen Alter Bridge there. I've seen U2 there. I've seen Rage Against the Machine there. Yeah. Brian, whose show did you work at Float Fest? Their guitar tech was 9 Guys of an Asshole. I'm curious if he's talking about the Tea Party. Because... Oh, yeah, Anthony, dude, you know what? We had more concerts before the Jets came back here. too. Like, essentially, once they built a new arena for the Jets, essentially to come back, then we started getting decent shows. Oh, okay, for Weezer, yeah. I thought you were talking about the Tea Party, and I was gonna laugh because I know lots of people who have like not so great stories about
Their performances?
no about working with the Tea Party. Like they're
You know what's his
handful.
What's the singer's name?
Jeff Martin.
Yeah, he seems like the type of guy that would maybe be a little bit challenging to
Yeah,
deal with.
one of my buddies calls him Lord Martin. Sure
Awesome.
thing, Lord Martin. So I'm sure if he watches this, I've just ruined the chance of the Tea Party ever playing anything rev in my life. But
Well, maybe you never know.
yeah,
They are awesome though.
Yeah.
I'm glad I got to see them live at the Country Fest because it was awesome.
yeah. Odd band choice to be at Country Fest for sure too. Like,
Even Conline Crush.
well, the third stage up there is always like it's almost always rock bands.
Yeah.
Because it's for all the dudes that their girlfriends drag them to Country Fest so they can see Keith Urban, and they're like, "Cam, I don't want to see something," and then they'll have like Streetheart and Loverboy, and yeah.
I'm that guy that got dragged.
Man, I saw Blackstone Cherry was there a few years ago. I don't know if
yeah?
you've ever checked out Blackstone Cherry. That's a killer band. Like, fun to watch. Like, really fun. Oh, yeah, Took. Like, Took was at Country Fest more than once, I think, now. Yeah, that's a killer band for anybody who wants to hear Canadian covers. Yeah. We should have had the Took guys help out with WTF. I mean, they've covered, like at least 20... like #1 Canadian hits of some sort, yeah.
Do they do their own spin on it?
Kind of. It's Todd Kearns, what's Todd's band? It's not a Econoline Crush. Age of Electric. Age of Electric, do you remember them?
Yeah.
So his voice is obviously significantly different than every other Canadian band that they cover, but a lot of the tones in that, it's just more modernized, but it's pretty true. Like instead of a Marshall, it might be a Friedman kind of thing, right? But otherwise, it's still very close to what it was. Always wanted to see John Fogerty. I've seen John Fogerty, and I've seen Creedence.
I've seen Fogerty.
Clearwater Revisited.
Okay. I've seen Fogerty 3 times at the arena here in Winnipeg. Each time was better than the last. He's one of my ultimate idols. Probably the ultimate influences.
Fogerty is?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a story about that, or I don't know if you know it. Anthony, I can confirm that you may sound like Sean, but you won't play like him. So, let's just say this. If you go buy a Collings and plug it into your rev, you'll be as close as you will ever be to sounding like Sean. How's that? So, enjoy your dinner, dude. Good seeing you. I'm going to probably mess this story up, but did you know that John Fogerty is, like, known for having signed, like, the worst record deal
Well, that's why
history?
he disappeared for so many years and
What's up, Mark?
didn't do anything really for...
Do you remember, is it that he signed away all of his publishing rights? He essentially signed away all of his royalties. So anything he wrote with CCR, he did not make a dime on.
The other members in the band made more than he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
well, there's a song called Green River. Or,
yeah.
I think that might be the song. There's a song that he wrote about that. That's about that experience.
Yeah.
And then so many years finally passed where he could perform them and make money off.
Yeah, but he still can't make royalties off of whenever it's licensed for a movie or anything like that. Like, nope. Like
that's
crazy.
That's a sick, disgusting, professional somewhere taking advantage. This is what that is.
Yeah, I mean, the industry not that it's not predatory now from the top down, but it was much, much worse early on, right? And to the defense of the people who were, kind of predators, like, it is a massive risk, and, 90% of the artists that people work with will never recoup the money that people put into them. But signing a deal where you take 100% of somebody's publishing is just greasy.
There must have been, like, a cash payout or something to...
Yeah, he would have gotten an advance.
Yeah.
And he probably signed away all his publishing rights for an advance. But it's kind of interesting that, like, we were talking about this last week when we were having tacos. Did you hear about the deal? You probably haven't because you don't pay that much attention to this type of stuff. But the guys from South Park?
Yeah.
Have you seen or heard about the deal that they signed?
What's that?
they signed a deal worth $900 million to like essentially a 5 or 6 year deal for like the next 6 seasons of South Park and a bunch of movies and stuff. Worth $900 million, but years ago they had one of their lawyers write into their contracts before streaming was a thing that essentially their contract it essentially excluded streaming, meaning that they would own 50% of whatever royalties would ever come from streaming.
Wow.
And somehow who they were working with, like their lawyer had the insight to write this into their deal. So they just signed this $900 million deal. Yeah, Mitch has got 6 seasons with 14 streaming movies, and it is crazy. These guys got $900 million for this, and it does not include their royalties, like their 50% cut on streaming.
Wow.
So the deal's worth, it made each of them...
Who knows? Because as long as it keeps streaming.
Each one of those guys are billionaires apparently now, or are worth $1 billion now because of that cartoon.
Because of a cartoon
that we all started watching in the like late 90s or whenever it was.
Talk about the ultimate life.
What's up, Jay? Yeah, you guys want to hear Scott shred some more? I can, so I won't. Here.
What? I'm not even warmed up. Is it on? I'm not a fan of this thing. I need there we go. That's what I want. Problem is, I'm a classical player, so I like to sit often with a footrest when I'm jamming. But this has always been an interesting position. I can't play like you guys. You Sam guys are always playing like this. I mean, if you're down here, but when you're up here, my fat gut gets in the way.
Do you guys have a G2 handy? You want to hear it with lower gain and humbuckers? Yeah, we both have G2s. Lower gain and humbuckers. All right. Mine is set crazily right now. Set it all in there. And tune this guitar up. Reverb. Okay, let me see here. So. So do you want to hear a neck pickup or a bridge pickup? So this is with the gain at like, I'd say like 9 o'clock. And actually that's the blue mode. I'll go to the off position. So like. Bridge. So here's the bridge. How low of gain are you looking to get it? Do you want it more than that? Yeah, I don't have any. Oh, I have a reverb on. Get rid of that. Yep, here's the amp. So that's the blue mode, or sorry, the off mode. That's what the gain, like, pretty low. This is the gain off, so you can hear it's kind of farting because it needs a little bit of signal. So. And if I hit my volume pedal, that doesn't help. And here's the blue mode. And that's gains at like 10 o'clock now. There it's at like 9. So like neck pickup bridge. Or sorry, neck pickup bridge. Neck pickup with a humbucker. And it'll do the like crunch thing. I put the gain closer to noon, like. So that's still pretty low gain, like. Yeah, and yeah, like there's. There you go, man. That's what it sounds like. And here's the second channel on the amp. Let me just figure out how it's set. It's at noon. There, everything at noon. That's that, and then pedal. I mean, I'm hitting the pedal a little bit harder.
That is very close. Very similar.
Oh, sorry, I was in the blue mode though, so this would be. Yeah, Jay, I agree. The green channel is my favorite channel on our amps, and the G2 is my favorite pedal. But I play a lot of main stuff. Yeah, yeah. You want to show how to clean up? Sure. Oh, that's why. Like, okay, here's the pedal. This is on the clean channel. I turned on a reverb. If you want to hear it without the reverb, my playing will be worse. So digging in. Jay. So the green channel and the red channel got the biggest upgrades on the Mark III, and like the interesting thing was, and I'll give you guys a bit of a peek behind how Dan did this, or why this ended up like this. So when we went to design the G2, purely for like efficiency purposes, the G2 ended up with the drive switch, because we were like, we should put a switch where that hole is, because then we can use the same chassis as the G3 and the G4. So what if we just do like, different saturation levels, just like the Aggression is? And Dan came back with the prototype of the G2 with the blue and the red drive mode. So then, I think pretty much everyone I know that has a G2 almost exclusively lives on the blue mode. Like even if you're gonna roll that off. That's the blue mode, and I rolled my volume back a bit. Right? And then you can...
I should show them what the pedals dimed on the red.
Oh, yeah? On the red channel?
Red channel with the gain all the way up.
Yeah, Jay, I'm running the G2 right now. Sorry, I don't have a camera on it, but I have the blue. The wide is not on mine, I don't think. Can you see? I can't see the light for it.
Nope.
So like...
You want it off or on?
Off. Okay. So this is just straight into the clean channel, gain dimed on the G2 and on the red drive mode. EQ is all at noon. And even that will clean up, like especially like... Yeah, it's great. And so when we designed when Dan designed the Mark III, I was like, hey, can you put the drive modes on the green channel so that it's like the G2? Because that'd be awesome to have the tube version of that. And yeah, that's why the Mark III's green channel is the way that it is.
Now we've added what? The wide and the bright to the clean channel as well.
Yeah, and the clean had a bright before, didn't it?
Nope. On this, not on the 2 channel, or nope.
No, right, because it just had the crunch bright, right?
Just bright on the crunch channel, but not on the clean.
So the wide switch, yeah. Just wait, it should toggle, did it not?
Oh yeah, there you go.
So here's the blue channel. Just flat, right? And here's the wide. So it really like opens everything up nicely, especially like when you bring in all of that like nice wet stuff.
Yeah, it's incredible clean channel, and you can crank these guys up and it's still clean.
So yeah, it does just open things up so nicely, and it is so strange. Like, this is your first time playing using ears, right?
Yeah, it's very different.
And it does feel so different. And it, like, if you're playing with a cabinet in a room, it feels way better. But unfortunately, we can't do that. Otherwise, you guys wouldn't be able to hear us talk ever.
It's be an echo chamber of feedback.
Especially in here, because there's zero treatment in this room. Maybe when we get to our new space, we can fix that somehow. Yeah. Do you guys have any questions for us? We've been like just kind of shooting the shit here, not really, answering what we can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gear-related questions?
We're gonna do that pickup thing sometime soon. Hopefully next week when Sammy's back. But we're also gonna do like some more messing around with pedals, because I got another whole box full of pedals today.
Bunch of new goodies.
That one of my buddies was selling that I was like, yeah, I'll buy some stuff. What is the meaning of life? Well, Stubbs, we're going to talk about that, and I'm going to show you once we're done. It's that. Actually, sorry. That. When is the move, Cliff? So technically, it will be October 1st we got our new building, but I'm guessing like probably more like mid to late October by the time we actually have like, I'm not really sure if we can get in and like set up the live room the way that we want. The production facility is actually going to be the easiest thing to set up, because if you guys can see our production facility now, you'd be like, oh yeah, so it's going to take you about 35 minutes to move everything.
Yeah, literally everything's on wheels.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like we'll rent like a 5-ton with a power tailgate.
Yep.
Wheel everything in, and then yeah. Mitch, we do not have a storefront. It's kind of in the new shop will be in Industrial Park. But if you go to Winnipeg, you just message us, and yeah, there will be like the new live streaming room when we have it set up, and there will be like a front office reception area and some offices that are separate from the production facility. So, but if any of you guys are ever in the area, just message us, and we'll when we're in our new space, not here, but when we're in our new space, yeah, message us, and you guys can come down, and we'll probably give you a little tour. And one of the things we are going to work on that hopefully you guys would like seeing is when we do get into the new building, all of our stuff is going to be wireless. So like our mics are already wireless for this, so that we can not trip all over ourselves. But we'll try to get it that we can actually show you guys and like do like a walkthrough in the shop on one of the Gear and Beer sessions. So, Andy, will we have an ISO room for real cabs? We could. Alex is like, yes, we should. Honestly, right now we hadn't planned on doing that, but Yeah, I mean, there's the space that we're in is literally like 60% larger than what our entire office is here. So like what you guys see is like
Maybe
Alex, go to
15%.
the double shot of Scott and I. So when you guys see this view, you guys are seeing like less than a quarter of the size of the building that we're in right now. And what we'll move to is, yeah, the building will be 60% bigger than this. So, or like not the building, but just the live streaming area will be 60% bigger than what we're in right now. So maybe in 2 years. Yeah, who knows? Like, we'll see. You guys really want to hear cabs? Oh yeah, you found, yeah. Jay, I probably shouldn't speak for Dan about what the approach was on revoicing that channel, but I share the exact same sentiment with you. Although I will say the Mark II's red channel is more like, it's more, I'd say it's got more of a recto vibe than, like if I had to compare it to any other amp.
Oh man, yeah, that's a good one. We really kind of got a little bit of our own thing going on here that it's hard to sometimes compare it to another one.
Yeah, I would say that the red the red channel on the I just dropped my ears dropped. So annoying. Yeah, I would say that the red channel on Mark III is closer to the red channel in 740.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably more of what Dan was going for in that, was to get closer to what the channel in the 740 is, because the red channel in 740 is more like a cross between a red and a purple channel.
It's kind of a middle ground. It's not as tight as the purple, but with a boost you get as tight as a purple. I run a boost and run in my 740. That's like people who watch my improv videos that I post on my YouTube channel, where I just jam along to backing tracks.
Yep.
It'd be unbelievable how many times they get comments about my tone.
Yeah.
By people that go, amazing tone, amazing tone. They want to know what I'm playing, and so I fill them in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, Will, this is a PRS, I don't know what. Custom 22, I think. Yeah, because it's not a bolt-on. So, yes, it is. It is a nice guitar that I rarely play.
Looks like I got some road rash over here.
Yeah, and the guy tried to fix it himself. I traded an SG for this. This is the best deal I've ever done.
Nice.
I'm surprised how much I like the neck pickup on this. Like, normally I really hate neck humbuckers.
I got Sam's old Strat, and I really like the pickups in that.
Yeah, it's got an HA, like
HH, yeah.
Andy, how's it going with Celestian? Yeah, good. Do I miss the WGS stuff? They're different animals to me. I really like the combination of the V30 and the Creamback that are in the 212s and the 412s. I also really like the 112 with the Creamback in it, which I think our stock way to sell it is with a V30, but because I use D20s more than anything, I typically use a Creamback. I still really like WGS stuff. To be honest, we had issues with being able to get WGS stuff in a decent time frame. That's a big part of why we moved to Celestian. And now we're running into similar issues with Celestian just because there's shortages globally of everything. So, yeah. Yeah. So.
I like the Veteran 30 ET combo. I have a 4x12-year-old PV there that I tossed him into.
Yep.
And it sounds incredible, especially when I pair it with my new Rev 4x12.
Yep.
But I got some old V30s in there, and some old K85s from an old 1989 PV cabinet.
Oh, the Poo Ninja showed, like, the quick in and out by the Ninja. How's it going, dude? I'm laughing because Stobes just went and grabbed another brew out of the fridge there. And Stubbs has got 3 kids, and he had to go get the old snip, and his nuts are all sore. So he's trying to drink his sadness away right now. I can't put that up there. That's wrong. What are you guys all playing for guitars tonight? Scotty's got the Fender Ultra.
Yes.
Elite or just Ultra?
Well, it's now called the Ultra. Before it was, I think, the Elite and then the Deluxe. It's kind of like they keep changing their top line name all the time. But this one has got an amazing, like normally you have the big blocky heel joint.
Nicer.
This is just like effortless, and it's got the extra thinner, what they call a modern D versus a modern C.
Yep.
So it's a bit flatter, and it's a 12 to 14 inch, or 10 to 12, or 10 to 14 compound radius versus just a 9.5.
Okay.
Like you get on
what that means.
that's how flat.
Okay.
So Gibson has got typically a 12.
Yep.
Standard Fenders are usually like a 9.5.
Okay.
When you get some Tellys are really even more rounded, like 7.25. But Ibanez's are typically like super flat, like 17.
Yep.
I had an Ibanez, I sold it because it was too flat.
Right.
I actually really like the feel of the Fender necks.
So I bought one of those for Sean
Yeah.
to use, and because he didn't have any actual Fender branded stuff, and we have some dealers that will only share videos of ours if it's with gear that they sell. So we decided, like, hey, we should have, he's got Sir stuff and Collins and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we're like, hey, we should, and PRS, but we're like, hey, we should get you a few things that are a little more common to all dealers. And he picked that one. I played his, and I think I played yours when it came in too briefly. The only thing I don't like on the new Fenders, and I don't know why, because like these are painted necks and they're lacquered, right? But that neck feels weird to me, and I don't know if it's just because I'm so used to any of my Strat style guitars have like
the gloss.
They're just oiled, so
okay.
They're super smooth and super fast. And I find, although for some reason my hand doesn't stick on PRSs the way it does on Gibsons. Whatever the lacquer is, I'm sure somebody on here knows the magic and the reason why. But otherwise, I absolutely normally hate painted necks. But for some reason, all of the PRSs I have no problem with. But
yeah, my PRS has got a painted neck too, and I don't have any issues with it. This one doesn't look satin anymore because I've played it so much. It's now polished, but.
I love the paint on that. That's that like white pearl.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like under the right light, it will reflect colors.
Yeah.
And it's hard to actually photograph and even show people in pictures. You got to kind of see it in real life, but it's gorgeous.
Cliff, what do you guys think about the Sweetwater buyout? What do you mean Sweetwater buyout? I'm not aware of a Sweetwater buyout. Steve Gray. Is that Steve from Australia? From Music and Audio? Scotty, what's your favorite tuning to play in?
Mine?
Yeah.
Definitely got to be drop C.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just the tones are very close to 7-string.
Yeah.
And the ease of playing a drop tuning is just fun. So yeah, that's definitely my favorite.
Hey, Steve, it's great to see you out here. It's got to be early morning for you there, I would imagine. Steve is the main guy at our distribution facility, Music and Audio, and was at Better Music or is associated with Better Music over in Australia. So anybody watching from Australia, anything you need, you go talk to Steve. Oh, it's midday there. That's awesome. I thought it was like a 12-hour difference from here, but
nice.
Maybe not. So my favorite tuning to play in is a half step down and either drop, So
I don't have any of my 6 strings in a half step down yet, but I do need to have one in a half step down.
Yeah, that's my favorite. What's your guys' favorite guitars to play? I'm interested to hear that. I'm a big fan of If I'm playing humbucker stuff, probably Paul Reed Smith. Otherwise, Telecasters. And specifically, I have the EB Rooster Telly is my favorite one right now that I've got. So, yeah. Sweetwater's been acquired? I did not hear anything about that yet. That's crazy.
That's a massive company.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I haven't heard that. I'll have to see if there's any info about that.
No kidding.
That'd be crazy if they are. I mean, they're huge. Like, yeah.
Wow, that's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder who bought them.
I don't know.
Who's big enough to acquire Sweetwater?
I have no idea.
Maybe the U.S. government?
Yeah.
That's it. We're taking
somebody not an MI?
Yeah.
The U.S. government doesn't have the money, did you say? They got more than the Canadian government, that's for sure. Yeah, I can do that one.
Yeah.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think it's getting to be about that time.
Time to have some more beers.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back next week. Sammy should be back. Hopefully, we're back checking out pickups. If not, we'll post on social what's going on for next week. But definitely more hanging out, more gear, more beer. So, Scotty, thanks for coming and hanging out tonight.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Definitely have you back. I'd love to see you and Sammy doing some shred battles.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks so much. And, yeah, we'll see you next time around.